Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada जय विश्वपाद ब्रह्मस परिव्राजकाचार्य अशोधर श्रीमद अभय चरणानंद स्वामी श्री प्रभुपाद जी महाराज की जय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। श्रीमद भगवद गीता था रूप की जय। So reading from Bhagavad Gita, chapter 9, the most confidential knowledge, verse number 19. Tapamya aham varsham nigrahanami utsrajami cha amritam chaiva mrituscha sad asaschaham arjuna. Tapamya aham varsham nigrahanami utsrajami cha amritam chaiva mrituscha sadasachaham arjuna. Tapami aham varsham nigrahanami utsrajami cha amritam chaiva mrituscha sadasachaham arjuna. ये पढ़ना चाहेंगे? If someone wants to repeat the verse.
Hare Krishna. Tapamyaham aham varsham nigrahanam yutsrajami cha amritam chaiva mrityuscha sadasachaham arjuna.
Word to word meaning, translation and purport by His Divine Grace S.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Shri Prabhupada ki jai. Tapami, give heed. Aham, I. Varsham, rain. Nigrahanami, withhold. Utsrajami, send forth. Cha, and. Amritam, immortality. Cha, and. Eva, certainly. Mrityu, death. Cha, and. Sat, spirit. Asat, matter. Cha, and. Aham, I. Arjuna, O Arjuna. O Arjuna, I give heat and I withhold and send forth the rain. I am immortality and I am also death personified. Both spirit and matter are in me. Purport. Krishna, by his different energies, diffuses heat and light through the agency of electricity and the sun. During summer seasons, it is Krishna who checks rain from falling from the sky. And then during the rainy season, he gives unceasing torrents of rain. The energy which sustains us by prolonging the duration of our life is Krishna. And Krishna meets us at the end as death. By analyzing all these different energies of Krishna, one can ascertain that for Krishna, there is no distinction between matter and spirit. Or in other words, he is both matter and spirit. In the advanced stage of Krishna consciousness, one therefore makes no such distinctions. He sees only Krishna. Since Krishna is both matter and spirit, the gigantic universal form comprising all material manifestations is also Krishna. And his pastimes in Vrindavan as two-handed Shyam Sundar playing on a flute are those of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Om Agyan Timirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Unmitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhistam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayangarupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shriuta Padakamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatham Vitam Tam Sajivam Savadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakam Vitamsha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrinda Vaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhupe Vacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnebhyo Namo Namah Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashyadate Satarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So once again, I'm very grateful to all the devotees for engaging in this service of hearing and chanting. And today we are at the 19th verse of chapter 9 of Bhagavad Gita in our study. We have almost reached to the mid of the Bhagavad Gita. That shows a lot of week after week, the commitment, dedication of the devotees in New Vrindavan Hall. I can imagine that we have almost reached 300 plus verses out of 700 verses. And as long as we see as the Bhagavad Gita progresses, we can see the knowledge also going to different layers. Lord Shri Krishna started from the Atma Gyan, and now he has come to the most confidential knowledge. The entire midsection, and which is a completely, Prabhupada says, this is the most confidential knowledge which is completely kept preserved from both the end, in between. It has been protected very nicely. So last few verses we were reading that how Lord Krishna is explaining about the Vishato Mukham, the universal form of the Lordship. And universal form of the Lordship has been discussed in Srimad Bhagavatam at several occasions. In second canto, then third canto, and then again fifth canto. So different concept has been given, the different context has been given. But all of them are Virat Rupa, which is universal form. We can see that the point is that that form is there. That form exists in this material world. It is not the spiritual world, but that form exists in this material world. And the best part we can understand, I mean, we can try that why Krishna, just imagine in so many other, I mean, so all over the world, so we can see that different form people are worshipping. Different form. Yadyadhiya Urgai Vibhavayanti. Like Brahmaji saying, oh my Lord, whatever form your devotee, they, just want to worship, tat vapuhu. You take that form, oh my Lord, you're so merciful. You accept that form. Whatever the devotee want to worship, you accept that. And Prabhupada says there cannot be anything in this world, there cannot anything exist, or any name cannot exist if it is not there. The object or the person, it can only exist when it is there, the name is there actually. If name means that object or that things are existing somewhere. So when we say Virat Rupa, it means it exists. And that's what our Shastra says that. And Lord himself is saying, Vishato Mukham. कि जैसे जिस रूप में भजना चाहते हैं, whatever form. So someone wants to, you see, when Arjuna wanted actually to see the entire world, to see this form. Because people in general, they want to see the very gigantic thing. Then they believe, oh, this is Lord. And Lord Shri Krishna understood the mind of Arjuna. He exhibited that form. Virat Rupa. The Vishrupa Darshan. And Krishna showed it means that exists, that form. That form was seen by Arjuna. That form was seen by Yashoda Maiya there back in Vrindavan in the Mridvakshan Leela. Then Brahmaji is narrating this wonderful pastime in Bhagavatam. And Krishna himself is narrating in this Bhagavad Gita that we are seeing now. Vishwatomukha. So Sanatana Pad Goswami in the Brihad Bhagavatamritam very beautifully described. He said, Jayati Nija Padabja. Jayati Nija Padabja Prema Dan Avatirno. In a Brihat Bhagavatamritam, which is composed by Sanatana Pad Goswami, which is the summary study of Srimad Bhagavatam, spoken by Parishit Maharaj to his mother Uttara. And there Narad Muni is establishing that who is the topmost devotee of the Lord. There, Sanatana Pad Goswami, at the very beginning, he gives the reason for which Lord appears in this world in different form. Normally, we know that Krishna said in Bhagavad Gita that Yada Yada Hi Dharmasya Glanir Bhavati Bharata or Pavitranam Sadhunam Vinashaya Dushkritam. These are the reasons given by Krishna himself. But Sanatana Pad Goswami says there are higher reason. He's saying Jayati Nij Padabj Prema Dan Avatirna. That only and only to give the charity of his lotus feet, Nija. Jayati Swapad, Swapadabja, Swacharana Padabja, अपने खुद के चरण के प्रेम दान, the charity of the love of his own lotus feet, to distribute that, Krishna appears here. And that he does in several ways. So devotee who are very attached to his Sakar Roop, he gives through that. Who wants to be engaged in that Virat Rupa, fine, accommodate. Some Nirakar Brahma, accommodate. Because there Sanatana Pad Goswami says, because that shows the nature of the Lord, which is very, very compassionate. He's so compassionate that he appears to give charity of love of his own lotus feet. Jayati Nija Padabja Prem Dana Avatir. अपने स्वयं के चरण कमल के प्रेम दान को प्रदान करने के लिए भगवान आते हैं. And then by seeing the conditions of the jiva at different levels, he engages them, or he opens the door towards this path in different ways, at different levels actually. Because everyone is not the same level. So different levels he opens the door. So they can further go ahead, further move forward. So that's what now we are reading in this section, the three types of which we discussed last time also. Last 2-3 weeks we have been discussing especially the Vishwatomukham. Before that we came to know that there are 2 more types of Upasaka, which is the worshipper of Ekatvena, who understand himself as God. And Prabhupada said that is the worst one. And because here in Vishwatomukham, at least they are not considering themselves as a God, number 1. Number 2, they are not considering any other Prithakvena. Not any other personality as Krishna or Vishnu. Vishwatomukham means the nature or the energy of Krishna. By seeing the Vibhuti, like Krishna says in Vibhuti Yoga, that Acharya says that Krishna appears in the form of forest. And when he appears in the form of forest, that is a Naimisharanya. Krishna appears in the form of food. When he appears in the form of food, that is Mahaprasad. Krishna appears in the form of hill, mountain, and that is Govardhan. So like that, the Krishna's Vibhuti, they consider that particular the part of the nature as Krishna himself, Vishwamukham. The Prabhupada says they are better than other two. Because they are not considering any person like himself as a God, merging with God or himself as a God, or second, any other personality like demigod especially as Vishnu. So here Prabhupada is saying in the purport very beautifully that Krishna by his different energies diffuses heat and light through the agency of electricity and the sun. Prabhupada, that's the beauty of Srila Prabhupada, the geniosity of Srila Prabhupada, that he gives a purport in the modern context, in today's context actually. We'll see the same thing Prabhupada uses in the Shashanko na Pavakaha. Yatkatvani vartate tadhamam paramamam. There Prabhupada also says that in the abode of Krishna, there is no moon, there is no moonlight, there is no sunlight, and there is no electricity. And here also Prabhupada says electricity and in the sun. So everything comes from Krishna. Now Prabhupada is trying to establish here that whether we are in the spiritual world or whether we are in the material world, in both the cases, we are completely dependent on Krishna. Nityo nityanam chetanas chetnanam eko bhausham eko bhaunam yo vidhati kama. In Upanishad, it is mentioned that he is the one who is always supplying the need of everyone. It means everyone else, including the manifest word or unmanifest word. Everyone is dependent on that supply. It means everyone is dependent on Krishna. That's a bottom line we have to understand. That there was not, like Krishna says, oh Arjuna, there was not a time when you were not there, this king were not there, and I was not there. That's fine. But what is the theme in this? Theme is that although you were there and there will not be time that you'll be ceased too. It means in future also it will remain the same. But always, all the other jivas are dependent on me. Always we are dependent. And that's why when leave Krishna, when today morning I was discussing with some devotee actually. I think Rashwa Krishna, yes. Today morning we're discussing that. That is the beginning of the Jivatma coming in this material world. Brahmaji describes very beautifully. Very beautifully he describes in the third canto that Sasarja Agre Tamra, what is that? Tadagrajare Tamishram, Atho Tamishram Adikritaha Mahamoham cha Moham cha Tamascha Agyana Vrittayaha. So there Prabhupada says Agyana Vritti. Agyana Vritti means because of ignorance, or the 5 facets of ignorance. The 5 features of ignorance, Prabhupada says there. And Brahmaji is clearing there actually. That begins with Tamas cha Agyana Vrittayaha. The first one is tamas. Tamas means ignorance. What is ignorance? That we are ignorant, that we are dependent on Krishna, you see. Artificially, we are trying to prove that we are independent on Krishna. However, the case is that naturally we are dependent on Krishna actually. Now, someone can say, for example, here, if you see when Krishna says, everyone depends on me. Prabhupada is saying here, by the different energies. Krishna by energy diffuses the heat and light. This is one of the aspects I'm seeing. Because without heat and light, without the sun, without moon, nothing can grow in this world. Nothing can sustain in this world. It means in material world, even though we have left Krishna, but we are totally dependent on Krishna. For example, if you see, now we are eating rice, grains, food grains. So if we ask someone that, okay, grain coming from where? They will say, grain coming from the previous grains. Okay. So this year grain, the seed was the last year grain. I spoke to a few days ago our Ramchandra Sundar Prabhu and Shiv Kumar Prabhu. So they are producing grains actually, the rice and this thing. But they want to just sell the seeds, not the rice itself, the main grains. But They are producing a very high quality organic seeds actually. The bija. And they're saying the bija goes in a very high rate actually. In kg, not in the bag, in the kg they, because from there again they try to sow the seed and again to cultivate different varieties of rice. So this year rice is from the previous year rice seed. Previous year, last to last year, like that. And if keep on going, so from where the first seed came, the question will come, right? And first seed, Krishna says, Aham Bij Pratah Pita. Bij Pratah Pita, I give the seed of everything. I give the seed. So the first seed of everything in this world comes from Krishna. That shows that we are so dependent on Krishna. Actually, we never realize it. Normally, people in general they don't realize it. But we are so dependent on Krishna. Similarly, now Prabhupada is saying today's verse that Krishna is saying, Tapya. This tap, if Surya. Now imagine when the plants are there, we see them dwindle. In due course of time, they dwindle actually, right? But try to imagine from the sun, time immemorial, how much energy we have taken. The solar energy, the solar cells are coming up now. And from time immemorial, the entire this Varsha, entire land, entire Brahmanda is taking the energy from the sun. But still, sun is not in the scarcity of the energy or not in scarcity of supplying heat and light. Why? Because Krishna is producing. That's what he's saying. I am that heat, that light. When Krishna says, I am the heat and light, which means eternal, which is everlasting. Otherwise, anything you see in this world, the nature of this material world is what? In due course of time, it dwindles. It gets destroyed. But Krishna says, I am the heat and light of the sun. So sun is keep on supplying. Sun is supplying, but heat and light is not being diminished. Day after day, I'm saying the same type of heat. Actually, in the same year or the different years, in the same season, same temperature, same kind of temperature, or sometimes it will be more actually. Because of global warming, this thing, now we're getting more temperature. It means more heat. There's a different reason, but the point is, from time immemorial, there has been supplied by Krishna and the heat and light, because Krishna says it is being, it is eternal. And we all are dependent on that. Without our knowledge, our entire sustenance in this material world is depending on this. That's what he's saying here. Then Prabhupada goes further. He says, during summer season, it is Krishna who checks rain from falling from the sky. Sun is there, but through the sun, we see that everything is being evaporated from the places which is very filthy place. Or imagine this ocean, the sea water, which is completely salty in nature. Nobody can drink it. Salty water. It's not palatable water for the human being or any animal actually. Then through the sun, it is being evaporated in the form of cloud. And then at the right time, after filtering process, the sweet water being poured in the form of rainfall. Who is doing this all miracle? Krishna says, this is me. Because of my energy. It means what? Such people who are Vishata Mukham, they are able to realize the energy of the Lordship. That's a very nice stage actually. Although we are seeing definitely from the ISKCON perspective or from the Gaudiya Vaishnava perspective, we don't give a very explicit importance to Vishata Mukham, or we don't give explicit importance to what we saw in the previous verses. If you recall the previous verses, I think 2-3 verses before, in the section of Vishata Mukham only, we use the word Omkara. That Krishna says, I am the Omkara. So we also don't give very explicit importance to Omkara also, right? Normally, if you see at all, we discuss about only Hare Krishna Mahamantra. But if you see the Omkara also actually in the scripture, and Krishna himself actually, Krishna Bhagavad Gita says, I am the Omkara actually, I am the Pranav. Even Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he met with the Prakasanand Saraswati, and when he met with the Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, In both the cases, he used a very wonderful verse. He says, "You people," because they both were from that Mayava Sampradaya. Both were from the Shankaracharya Sampradaya. So Mahaprabhu, when he heard their philosophy, it's very nicely recorded in Chaitanya. So very beautifully he said, because when he approached Prakash Sati, he says Tattvamasi. He used that word actually, and few verses. So he says Tattvamasi is a God Vakya. See, Shankaracharya has spoken, and his whatever he's spoken, that has been categorized in two different ways actually. One is called Mahavakya, which is Mukha Vakya, and second is called the God Vakya, which is the secondary Vakya. And Mahavakya is more important than the secondary. But the problem is, he said, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, you people are more focused on the secondary one, Gaud Vakya. Tattvam Asi is the Gaud Vakya. Tattvam Asi means, he's saying, Prakash Swasti said, Tattvam Asi means whatever, Tattvam Asi, Tattvam Asi. What he is, I am the same. It means we both are same. It means I am the Lord, indirectly. Tattvam Asi, what he is, I am the same. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, no, this is a God Vakya, but Chaitanya Mahaprabhu corrected him. He said, he lifted his finger up. He said, Tattvamasi means not Tattvamasi. He said, Tattvamasi. He says, Tattvamasi means whatever form Krishna appeared in this material world, including this gigantic Vishwarupa. Tattvamasi. That all the form, all the incarnation of Vishnu, Tattvamasi, they are him. It means they. Tattva-amasi. They all are him. They all are Krishna. They all are Vishnu Tattva. So he corrected them actually. And then he said a very nice verse. He said, Pranavete Mahavakya Vedra Nidan Ishvara Sarupa Pranava Sarva Vishwadham. He said, this is the Mahavakya of Shankaracharya, which is the Om Pranava. Pranavera Mahavakya. This is the Mahavakya of Shankaracharya, and you left it. You people are not focusing on this, and you are focusing on this Tattvamasi, or the other thing which is Soham, those kind of things. Those are the Gaud Vakya. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is trying to say that if you really want to follow Shankaracharya also, please try to understand this Pranava. Pranavera Mahavakya. Vedara Nidan, all the Vedas. The Pranava has been glorified like anything. And J. Goswami Pad also glorified Pranava, this Om, in his Sandarbha, very beautifully. Sridhar Swami also gives a very wonderful commentary on Om. Om is non-different than, it's a totality, the Krishna's complete glorification through Om. Provided if you understand the real interpretation of the real meaning of the Om given by the Acharyas, from the Acharya's perspective. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he discussed about this, like we are discussing here in the Vishuddha that has been mentioned here by Lord Krishna, that Pranava, that Om, for Vishuddha. So normally they think that this is for the Nirakar Brahma Upasak, which is a Pranava, Om. But he said, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, ki Pranavera Ishvara Sarupa Pranava. Ishvara Sarupa Pranav. It means Pranav is the form of Ishvara, controller, the supreme controller. And he says, Sarva Vishwadham. The Sarva Vishwadham, the shelter of entire Brahmanda, is a Pranava, Om. Because that's the first thing which was when Krishna created this material world, actually, this Mahatattva, the first layer, ether, which came through the Pranav, through the sound vibration. The sound vibrations. The sound vibration, Pranava, Om, that created the first layer of this material world, which is the ether. And from there we entered. Because the first layer, and that's why while going back, that would be the last layer to dissolve, to break it. And in Srimad Bhagavatam 4th canto, we see the reverse of this actually while going back to Godhead, where Prithu Maharaj, when he wanted to leave his body, what he did? He dissolved himself. First, what he did, he accumulated his entire body portion, the water portion of his body, because maximum, the element of the 5 Panchabhuta, we have water in our body actually, right? That is the maximum percentage. And then we have the other tattva, Bhumi, Apo, Anlo, Vayu. and then come. So first what he did, he concentrated, he dissolved himself, and he took the water portion because he was in yoga. And then from that water portion, he mixes water portion, he kept into the bhumi. And from bhumi, he generated a fire. So it was burned in fire. And then the aroma came in the air. And then finally, it went to the ether, and then he left this material world. So this is a reverse process. While coming, ether is the first. While going, ether is the last. And that's why while going back, he says, Ishwar Sarupa Pranava, Pranavete Mahavakya. He says, by the Pranav only, Veda Nidan, Ved says that you will get the liberation from this Pranava, which the Vishato Mukham Upasak, Krishna says that Pranav, they recite Pranav actually. They recite Pranava in that form actually, Pranava. Oh. That's why he says, while going back, the solution will be also because while coming back, while being created this material world, it was the sound vibration through which it was created, the first layer ether. Similarly, while going back, it will be the sound vibration. And that is why you'll be surprised to know in Vedanta Sutra, Vyasadeva, compiling all the Vedic literature, at the end he compiled Vedanta Sutra, Brahma Sutra. In that sutra, the first sutra is what? Athato Brahma Jigyasa. Atha means therefore. Now you have received this material, this human form of life, Brahma Jigyasa. And after doing all the Jigyasa, all the process of the Vedanta Sutra, the last shloka, the last sutra, not shloka, the sutra of the Vedanta Sutra is what? Anavirti Shabdat. Anavirti Shabdat. It means Shabda, the transcendental sound vibration. Om. He said the transcendental sound vibration is the one, Anavirti, which will, Avirti means cover, Anavirti means uncover, which will uncover your all these layers and will be able to go back to Godhead. So here, all the energies of Krishna, Vishadu Mukham, this the Vishwa Rupa Upasaka, the worshipper of this universal form of Lordship. We have to understand this is a very high, exalted stage actually. And we have to understand from the pages of, because Krishna is explaining something. Krishna is explaining something, it means there's some purpose of this. And Krishna is coming, and this part is coming in the most confidential knowledge. And we'll see the Vishuddha Mukham has not been restricted. We'll see definitely that part, Prabhupada says, the commentary of where is the Ekatvena has been condemned. Even Prithakvena also been condemned up to some extent. But Vishuddha Mukham, you will find that not up to that level it has been condemned. We can see the Prabhupada wordings also, the purport. So we can understand the Acharya's, through the Acharya's commentary, that this has been given explicit, different importance here. So this is the Pranava. And he said, and then Jiva Goswami Pad, he writes, wonderful, wonderful. He says, through the Pranava, the entire this Matta, what is that? Nunam Pramattaha Kurte Vikarma. That Pramatta, all the madness will be eradicated. Whoever take the shelter of this wonderful Pranava mantra. And that's why our Bhagavatam also start with the Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So although we recite it, but we do not give explicit importance to such word actually. Our discourse will start with Om first, but we don't concentrate there. We'll come to that point why actually. So Shastra says, or Jiva Goswami Pad says, and Sridhar Swami says, Jiva Goswami Pad says this is the Tarak mantra. Tarak means which will tar, Tarak, जो हमको तर देंगे, तार देंगे, मतलब इस भौतिक जगत से हमको तार देंगे. Which will be making us free from this material conception of life. That's called Tarak mantra, and which is given in almost all the Yuga. Om is there. In all the Yuga, in fact, all the Vedic hymns begins with the Om. The entire Vedic literature, all the mantra, I'm saying mantra, all the Vedic mantra, the Pranav is always there. Pranav is always there. because that is represent Krishna. It's in totality. Krishna is total. I'll come to that point actually. We'll see the Jigoswami Pad explanation of the Om. Very beautifully he gave actually that what Om means, because normally we think that Om means it's like kind of Nirakar. But when our Acharya gives something, they always give from that perspective, the Sikh Acharyas, Tattva Acharya. So they give the Tattva, that what is the Om meaning actually. So then Prabhupada says further, that everything in this sun and heat, in the moon, the light, the rasa, the heat, everything comes from Krishna. All the juices in the flowers, in the fruits, what we are depend on actually, it all comes from the Krishna's manifestations of energy. So in two different universal form description in Srimad Bhagavatam, one description is universal form is that sun and moon are the eyes of Krishna. The eyes of Krishna. And that's why nobody is bereft of Krishna's glance, because either we have daytime or nighttime. Every time Krishna is watching us. Every time his mercy, his glance upon us. And devotee or even the Vishatomukham, the Vishnu Upasak, they realize it, that he is Lord, sun is Lord, moon is Lord, that heat and everything. They realize that it's Krishna's energy. It's Lord energy. Further Prabhupada, go ahead. The energy which sustains us by prolonging the duration of our life is Krishna, you see. So everything which sustains prolonging our life in this material world is all Krishna. As I mentioned, all the nourishment, it comes from Annagata Pran. In Kali Yuga, we have Annagata Pran. In previous Yuga, we had different Gata Pran. So in Kali Yuga, our life is dependent on what? On the food, Annagata Pran. Before that, in Dwapar, it was Rakta Gata Pran. Before that, it was Majja Gata Pran. And in Satyuga, it was Asthi Gata Pran. That's why Hiranyakashipu, he was meditating for 100 celestial years. His entire body, flesh, blood, everything was eaten by ant. They had an ant hill on his body. You can see that picture. Nothing was there, only skeleton, only the bones were there. But since at that age, Asthi Gata Pran. If Asthi is there, Pran will be there. That's why he survived. And then Brahmaji, he just sprinkled some water. He got such a wonderful body again. It was, by the yoga, by the benedictions of Brahmaji. But in this age, Kali Yuga is Annagata Pran. Prabhupada says that sustenance, Krishna says, it is because of me. The prolonging of life, it means all the nourishment in the Anna is coming from Krishna. Annad Bhayo Parjanno. Even the rain, because we saw that rain is coming, sun is there, sunlight is there, then only we have food grains. Or even the non-veg eaters, even the animals can survive when these things are there. It means everyone depends on Krishna. And that's Brahmaji said, the first thing to realize that we are depending on Krishna. In this material world, when we came, the first thing, Agyan Avritti, the Agyan Vritti, the first feature of Agyan Vritti is completely tamas. Tamas means we are totally ignorant that we are dependent on Krishna. And artificially we have imagined that we are depending on ourselves. Kartaham iti manyate. That is the first darkness, the first layer of ignorance, Agyan Vritti. Then second is what? Second is Moham. Moham means when we understand, okay, we are not depending on Krishna, or we are not, our real Sarupa is not servant of Krishna, it means we are something else. So that something else is Moham. And that I am this body. I am the proprietor of this body. I am XYZ. I am from India. I am from America. I am from this country. That all designation is the Moham. And then Mahamoham. Mahamoham means the third one, that in that particular understanding, which is misunderstanding or misidentification, whatever I see, my possessiveness, I think it's mine. First thing, I am not Krishna's servant. I'm not dependent on him. Second thing, I am this. I'm not Krishna's servant. I am this. I'm body and I'm this, or designation. And all the things in my possession is my possessiveness. Everything belongs to me. And the fourth one is Atha Tamishram. So the Tamas and Tamishram. Tamishram is different. Tamas is core darkness. Tamishram is darkness. What is that? Tamishram? Tamishram is that if I'm saying it belongs to me, it belongs to me. But if anyone comes and disturb that my enjoyment or my possessiveness, I get angry. So that's the fourth layer of the ignorance. And the fifth one, which is the Andhatamishram, which is the final one, that whatever we possess, we think that it is mine. Everything is taken by the time or by Krishna. We say it's my Maya, mera sansar. Bhagavan कहते हैं mama Maya, mera Maya hai. छोड़ो इसको. And it takes everything away. But the only thing which we don't even try to separate from ourselves is our body. In our family members will leave. Even we have a conception sometimes our wife, our children will leave. But never ever we imagine that my body will leave me or I will leave my body. And that is called Andhatamishram. At the time of death, when that is taken away. And Krishna says here in this verse also. That's Andhatamishram. Krishna, what he's saying here? Krishna is saying here, Amritam chaiva mrituscha. Mrituscha. It means Krishna meets us at the end as death. So at the death, he takes even what we are so attached to, and we never imagine that it will be separated from me. We think it's my companion. My body will not come from me anyway. It is mine. Everyone, sometimes you see कि सबने मुझे छोड़ दिया, लेकिन तभी हमारा शरीर हमारे साथ में रहता है. सबने छोड़ दिया. Everybody left us. स्वजनो दुख दुखितम. सबने, धन चला गया, स्वजन चले गए, but हमारा शरीर हमारे साथ में. But Krishna says, मृत्यु के समय सर्वहरम, सब कुछ भगवान हर लेते हैं, और सबसे महत्वपूर्ण अंधतमिश्रम, that is also taken away from us. And then Krishna says here, there's no distinction between matter and spirit. And that's why there's no distinction between matter and spirit, because everywhere Krishna is there. Even this body, which I was thinking it's mine, actually it belongs to Krishna. He took it. Krishna's energy, he took it. All the elements belongs to Krishna. Bhinna Prakriti. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, this all 5 and 3, 8 elements is my Bhinna Prakriti. तो जिसको हम सबको लगता है कि जड़, ये जड़ वस्तु भी मेरा है, वो जड़ भी कृष्ण. सब जगह पर कृष्ण. Everywhere Krishna stamp. अंडांतरस्थ परमाणु चयांतरस्थम गोविंदमादि पुरुषम तमहं भजामि. यत शक्तिरस्ति जगदन्तयान्तः. Everywhere his energies are pervaded. Everywhere his energies are pervaded. And Vishato Mukham, they're able to realize it. That this is Krishna, gigantic form. Everywhere, entire material world is in Krishna. Andantaras Paramanu Chayantarastam. Everything is Krishna. Everything is Krishna. In fact, Krishna says in Srimad Bhagavatam about this shloka. A very similar shloka is there. Mad bhayad vato vatiyam. Suryastapati mad bhayad. Barsat dahati indri. Suryastapati mad bhayad. Agni dahati mad bhayad. Barsat indro agni dahati. Mrityusharati mad bhayad. Even Mrityu. Same thing is coming here also. Surya. Agni. Their Vayu also. Vayu also here. And even the, what is that? Mrityusharati mad bhayad. Even death also goes to take the toll out of my fear. Surya stapati mad bhayad. Surya gives light out of my fear. That's what we see in Srimad Bhagavad Gita several times. When Jayadratha Vath was there, out of Krishna's instructions, the Surya got disappeared. And then when Krishna wanted, immediately it appeared. They all are out of fear of Krishna, they are moving around. Vayu, Krishna can stop anything, any moment, anywhere. Everything in this material world is controlled by Krishna. And Vishato Mukham, they are very much aware of this, that this all the energy of that my universal form, it's my gigantic Lord. He is controlling everything. And then Prabhupada goes further. He says, in the advanced stage of Krishna consciousness, one therefore makes no distinctions. You see? Now, Vishato Mukham Prabhupada is writing about that this is advanced stage when he is not making any distinction. Sthavar Jangam na dekhe tar murti. In devotee, they are seeing their own wonderful form of the Lord. They know that this is Shyam Sundar form. Prabhupada says here in the last line. But Vishato Mukham, he is not aware of it actually. Now I'll give an example here. Yashamati Prabhuji? Yashamati Prabhuji or Rachokish Prabhuji? Can you open your video please for a moment?
Right,
Yes.
Prabhu.
Can you open your video please? Yes.
Yeah.
So for example, अगर मैं अभी हम सोचे हम लोग बैठे हुए हैं आज कहीं मतलब वृंदावन हॉल में और कोई व्यक्ति आए और वो बोले कि नीले कुर्ते वाले प्रभु जी तो जरा सा ये वहां पे प्लीज वो प्रसाद वहां पे दे दीजिए. तूने किसको इंगित किया? उन्होंने इंगित किया ही कॉल्ड प्रभु जी, यशोमती प्रभु जी. बट सिंस दैट पर्सन इज अ न्यू प्रोबेबली एंड ही इज नॉट अवेयर ऑफ द नेम ऑफ द प्रभु जी. बट जब उनको बोलेंगे कि नीले कुर्ते वाले प्रभु जी या फिर छोटे बाल वाले प्रभु जी या फिर चश्मा वाले प्रभु जी, बट प्रभु जी को पता है कि वो मुझे बुला रहा है. So Yashomati Prabhuji will not feel bad, right, Prabhu? Prabhuji, will you feel bad, Prabhu?
No, Prabhu.
but definitely, if someone call him Yashomati Prabhuji, so he will feel happy because that's a name given by his spiritual master, and that is what a very special name is. So the point is, Prabhupada is trying to bring the point here that Vishato Mukham or the Acharya, the point that Vishato Mukham, they are also calling Lord only, but since they are not aware of the wonderful two-handed form of the Lord, the Shyam Sundar Roop of the Lord. But this calling Om, the Om Pranava, it means that also going to Krishna. Krishna says, Om is me. I am the Pranava. Ishwara Sharup Pranava. Pranava is a Ishwar Sharup. It is indirectly calling Krishna only. Not directly, but indirectly, but calling Krishna only. But the best part of Krishna is here, that Krishna is so merciful that whether you call him directly or indirectly, he gives his best. Rather, Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Yatha mam prapadante. But when it comes to the compassion, Krishna is so compassionate. That's what Sanatana Pad Goswami says. Jayati swapada padabja apne swayam ke charana da prema dan avatirno. Because he's so compassionate, he wants to distribute the love to everyone. No matter whether directly or indirectly you're calling him, he will be there. That's what happened in case of several, you can see the yogis, or several, like the Dhruva Maharaj. He was meditating on the form which he made actually through his mind. And then he could see that same form outside. Yadadhiya. So similarly, in this case also, when we call Neele Kurte Wale Prabhuji, तो Prabhuji सुन करके वो तुरंत respond करेंगे वो. It means your prayers will be answered. And that's why Sanatana Goswami, yes, when he inquired from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Chaitanya Charitamrita, so Chaitanya Charitamrita, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he said that there are two types of names of Krishna. One is the Mukhya name and one is the Gaud name. And Mukhya name is, especially the primary names, are one which is connected with his devotees, pure devotees. Shyam Sundar, Radha Girdhari, Radha Madhav. But Nam Namakari Bahuda Nij Sarva Shakti. All other name also like Om Pranava, Vishwarup, like this genetic form, the Krishna says Pranava, Om. Even that also have the same Shakti. Nija Sarva Shakti, because all are the names of Lord. But definitely, now we'll come to that point. What is the main difference between these two acts? Then what is the difference between Vishato Mukham Upasak and the pure devotional Ananya Bhakti? Because in the 8th chapter we read the Ananya Bhakti. Now this is which is the person who are not able to perform the Ananya Bhakti. This is a little न्यून Bhakti. न्यून मतलब उससे थोड़ा कम है ये. तो क्या कमी है इसमें? अब उसको बता रहे हैं आचार्यगण कि वो ये है कि प्रणव के माध्यम से या फिर विश्व के माध्यम से ये हमको तारक, ये तार सकते हैं. जैसे मैं बताया आपको तारक मंत्र. लेकिन यहाँ पर बहुत सुंदर रूप से बता रहे हैं हमारे जी गोस्वामी पाद। जी गोस्वामी पाद बोलते हैं कि ओम जो है, क्योंकि भगवान खुद बोल रहे हैं गीता में कि मैं ओम हूँ, प्रणव में मैं ओमकार हूँ, तो वो बता रहे हैं अकारेण उच्यते कृष्ण सर्वलोक एक नामक सर्वलोक एक नायक उकारणे उच्यते राधा मकारी जीवत पारक। तो वो कह रहे हैं कि मकारी जीववाचक अ उ म, छोटा सा शब्द है ये ओम, जो प्रणव आया है पहले 2 श्लोक के पहले इसी विषय तो मुखम में। तो वहां पर ओम का मतलब हम देखते हैं बहुत छोटा सा स्थान लेता है। ओम को आप लिखेंगे भी आप तो इट विल टेक वेरी स्मॉल प्लेस, बट इन ओम वी हैव अ उ म, 3 letters, and Jiva Goswami says this is a complete mantra also. That's why Om is a very powerful mantra. He says अकारेण उच्यते कृष्ण सर्वलोकैक नायक। सर्वलोकैक नायक, the विश्वरूप, this विश्वतो मुखम विश्वरूप उपासक, they are seeing the Om is the entire gigantic form, सर्वलोकैक नायक, पूरे लोक के एक ही नायक। और वो कौन है बता रहे हैं, कृष्ण है वो। जो गोस्वामी बात कर रहे हैं कि अकारेण उच्यते कृष्ण सर्वलोकैक नायक उकारेण उच्यते राधा। बोलते हैं उकारेण उच्यते राधा, उ से उच्चारण राधा का होता है, और म कारो जीववाचक, और म से सभी जीव। तो भगवान, भगवान की शक्ति और जीव तत्व, बहिरंगा शक्ति, अंतरंगा शक्ति एंड कृष्णा। He says this is in totality. Om is a total mantra, because normally when we hear about Om, so what we think, नहीं, हरे कृष्ण महामंत्र में पूरे भगवान राधा कृष्ण है, लेकिन ओम में केवल हमको ओम समझते हैं, हमको उसके निराकार रूप को, या ओम में कोई रूप हमें समझ में नहीं आता है। लेकिन जो गोस्वामी बात कह रहे हैं कि प्रणव मंत्र is a complete in totality, having the Krishna is internal energy and is bahiranga shakti, so it is in totality. Om is complete, right? However, it is a indirectly indication to these 3 personalities, which is the Krishna, internal energy, and Bahiranga Shakti. And then Hare Krishna Mahamantra, that is the complete direct manifestation and the direct notion to the Srimati Radharani and Lord Shri Krishna, especially. और इसलिए उसको बोलते हैं, उसको वो कहते हैं कि that is the all other mantra including Pranav is the Tarak mantra, but this Hare Krishna Mahamantra, he says, Jiva Goswami Pad says, this is a Parak mantra. Parak means Tarak mantra will deliver you, and Parak mantra will also deliver you, but while delivering you, it will give you the prema. And that's why, which was not given before. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he gave us Parak mantra. Although he discussed with Sadhum Bhattacharya and Prakashanand Saraswati, he told that it is the Tarak mantra, and Tarak mantra means he told at that times that it will deliver you. It will deliver you, and Pranav is a Mahavakya, but what he gave to all of us, the entire humanity, he's in Parampara, the God is Vaishnava Parampara, is the Parak mantra, because that Krishnadas Goswami, he mentioned very nicely, very beautifully. He said, Chirad adattam nij gupta vittam. Chirad adattam nij gupta vittam. Swa, what is that? Chirag adattam nij gupta vittam. Swa prema nama mritam adokita. Swa nema prama. Swa prema nama mritam. So Swa Prem Nama Mitam, what he did? Chirad matlab from the long time. Adattam, what not given. Chirad Adattam Nija Gupta Vittam. He gave his own hidden treasure. Nij Gupta Vittam. Very clear Hindi. हिंदी इसके साथ में जुड़ा हुआ संस्कृत है। स्वयं का गुप्त छुपा हुआ वित्तम धन, स्वयं का छुपा हुआ धन चैतन्य महाप्रभु ने हमको इस नाम के माध्यम से, स्व प्रेम नामा अमृतम, अपने स्वयं के नाम, जिसको प्रेम, अपना स्वयं का प्रेम इस नाम के अमृत के रूप में हरे कृष्ण महामंत्र के माध्यम से हमको दिया. And that is why Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. This is a direct calling to Srimati Radharani and praying to Srimati Radharani and asking or begging for the love. Swaprema Nama Amritam. इस नाम के अमृत के माध्यम से हम राधा रानी से उनका और भगवान श्री कृष्ण का युगल सरकार का प्रेम की प्राप्ति की अपेक्षा कर रहे हैं, प्रेम की भिक्षा की अपेक्षा कर रहे हैं. और इसीलिए वो कह रहे हैं कि ये पारक मंत्र है. That's why this mantra, Hare Krishna Mahamantra, is like Krishna's feature Guhya, Guhyatam and Guhyatar. Similarly, Guhya, Guhyatam and like that. Similarly, this Mahamantra is most complete. Krishna's all names are complete. Pranav is also complete. It's more complete, Pranav, because Pranav is it's the entire Vedic hymns begins with Pranav. And Pranaveda Mahavakya is Mahavakya. Mahavakya Veda Nidan. But Hare Krishna Mahamantra is most complete because it's directly recalls or he invites the highest, the topmost devotee of the Lordship. And the Lordship, because Krishna is always there with Srimati Radharani. When Krishna is there, Radharani may be there or may not be there. But when Radharani is there, definitely Krishna is there. That's why Hare Krishna, Hare, we start with Srimati Radharani. We call out, Prabhupada says, we are calling out the internal energy of the Lord, like a crying child. When he cries for mother, first he cries a mother, then father. माँ आवाज आती है बच्चे से. तो हम लोग भी हरे बोल रहे हैं पहले, श्रीमती राधारानी को पुकार रहे हैं, और जब उनको पुकार रहे हैं इसका मतलब कृष्ण वहीं पर विराजमान है. इसलिए वो कह रहे हैं कि दिस इज द कंप्लीट मंत्र. चिरात अदत्तम निज गुप्त वित्तम. सो निज गुप्त वित्तम was given by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in the form of this Parak mantra. This Parak mantra. So this Parak mantra is given by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Mercy Lord himself to all of us. And Prabhupada says here, for a devotee, whether it is a gigantic universal form or it is a Syam Sundar form, he does not differentiate. He knows that it is only my Lord manifesting himself in this form. And that should be our understanding also as well. So Vishato Mukham, we should not, actually any transcendentalists, we should not demean them. Okay, we are very fortunate that we have got the Parak mantra, we have got the topmost form of the Lordship. But other people who are in this journey of the transcendence, they're also trying to move forward. And as per their adhikar, they have been given that access. But we have to understand even that access or that rope, like I mentioned that example, calling out someone by some other notion. Sanketyam. तो जैसे हम सुनते हैं कि सांकेत्यम परिहास्यम, कोई संकेत से भी भगवान का नाम लेते हैं, भगवान की ओर संकेत भी कर रहे हैं, तो उनको फल मिल जाता है. तो ओम तो भगवान का ही प्रतीक है. So even the Vishato Mukham Upasak, when they are calling Om Pranav mantra, by understanding that, okay, this is Lordship, that's the whole difference here. Vishato Mukham is not saying that Om means some demigods. No, they are saying it's Lord, which is the universal form, gigantic form. All this material form, the Lordship in this material world, it's a gigantic form. But this Pranav, Krishna says, this is Pranav, it's me actually. And that's why Prabhupada said in the last line here, that Krishna is both matter and spirit, and that's why it's gigantic, because this is a material form. Gigantic universal form comprising all material manifestation. Prabhupada ji कहते हैं Srimad Bhagavatam में भी कि because this is existing with all the material elements in this material universe. All the universe is here. This form is not there in the spiritual world. So this is a material form. It is not a spiritual. Material form is not, see, Krishna is always spiritual. Only because it's representing all the matters. And that shows that Krishna is matter and spirit both, because he's there everywhere. All his form is matter. If he's everywhere, everything is there. Andantas Brahmanchayantarastam. They can see in two atoms, and they can say between two atoms also. They can realize Krishna. Prabhupada says that is a very advanced stage. So I think time is up. It's 12:43. playing on a flute for those who are personality of Godhead. So for them, there is no difference between these two forms. And so Krishna appears to give such a wonderful opportunity to everyone that whatever level devotee are, whatever way they want to worship. It means if the gigantic form, in the form of this, Vishuddha Mukham, is available, definitely for Prithak Vena, he will say that is Avidhi Purvakam. Avidhi Purvakam. But this is Vidhi Purvakam. Means it's a new bhakti, but it's never been condemned. In last 4 or 5 verses, we have not found any statement of Srila Prabhupada where he's condemning this kind of worship. So we should understand Prabhupada is very careful in writing this. And this is based on the Acharya's commentary. Because they are not, Vishuddha Mukham, this is the last verse I think was Vishuddha Mukham, that they are not comparing the Lordship, considering the Lordship with any mundane, the Jivatma, either himself or someone else, or any demigods, any Lokpalas. Okay, so I'll stop here. If any other point of discussion or anybody wants to add something, please go ahead.